And welcome to Flightdeck Live, powered by SportBuff. If you go to sportbuffshop.com and use the code ALS, Flightdeck10 at checkout, you will save 10% off your first order. I'm Tim Capper, along with Cliffy DePine from Personal Emulsion Stadium, where the Alouettes have a successful home game tonight with a 37-30 win over the Western Calgary Stampeders.
Absolutely. Still undefeated at home in the regular season, which is nothing to sneeze at. That's absolutely wonderful. Once again, though, it feels like the Alouettes kind of snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, even though they never actually lost their lead in this game.
No, never trailed. No, you're right.
But there were a lot of times where it just felt like they were almost trying to give it away. But again, winners find a way to win, and that's exactly what they did tonight.
Exactly. Again, this is a game where the guys were coming in today 3-1 at the time. They're trying to make sure that they were righting their rights, specifically when it came to tackling and the third quarter. And I think really tonight, Cliff, they did very well in the third quarter, obviously, and I think they were a lot better when it came to tackling.
Yeah, definitely the third quarter was a massive improvement compared to what we've seen over the past couple of weeks. If anything, it felt like the fourth quarter was where things kind of started to, the wheels started to fall off just a little bit. At least, but again, you're playing one of the top tier teams in Calgary. Vernon Adams, is going to do everything possible to try and win the game. I mean, he's done it for the past couple of weeks as well. So, I mean, this game wasn't exactly, I don't know how else to put this other than the best team ended up winning, but man, it was close.
It reached the over-under. Coming into the game, I think it was 62.5 points. So I
think so. If anyone's putting any money on that, you did good.
Exactly. We're coming in talking about the first half itself. One of the most, besides the thing that they were on, when it came to Davis and the wide receivers, obviously Tyson Philippot. One of the big things that we had to talk about when it comes to the first half was that missed opportunity by the Owls on a touchdown, an 83-yard touchdown by Tyson Philippot, but called back by a holding penalty.
That's it. Penalties, man. I mean, that's the thing. Being disciplined is so important. And funny thing is, this O-line, for the most part, has been pretty well disciplined all season. I mean, yes, the occasional holding call or, misconduct or something like that. I mean, there are little things here and there, but by and large, this team has done a pretty good job of staying disciplined, keeping the quarterback upright. But an amazing play like that getting taken off because of a holding penalty is just, I won't say backbreaking, but you're just like, dang.
We'll talk about obviously how good that the wide receivers were tonight, but Tyson was on it again. He had over 100 yards receiving throughout the game. Just missed. It was just one. He was at 9 of 10 for the night. Let's talk about some other stuff. Let's get some props to this defense, because we were talking about how much the defense was struggling in the third quarter specifically, but they really held their own tonight.
Yeah, and causing a fumble as well from Vernon Adams. I mean, that's, again, I don't want to blame Vernon for that, because, I mean, like, he was definitely doing what he does best. Like, he's getting out of the pocket and he's trying to make something happen, but yeah, just, I don't know, maybe it was the humidity or something like that. It's just he couldn't quite hold on to the ball. And, listen, the Alouettes were able to profit from it.
No, that's true. And again, it's that they like the last home game itself, they were on it when it comes to sacks too. The defense just has the last two games. They've been very strong when it comes to finally getting a hold of that quarterback. Yeah,
Mustafa Johnston, Tyrese Beverett, David Perales making his first start on the defensive line, and did not look out of place whatsoever.
No.
Really, really nice effort from the defensive line, if nothing else.
Still props to Perales. You talk about first start tonight. First, he had the sack, and he also had a very, very big knockdown when it came to that literally on the last play of the game. Scrimmage play of the Stampeders late in the fourth quarter.
That's it. I mean, again, Calgary still very much had a chance to at least tie this game, and we were actually told that had they scored that touchdown, they were going to go for two, which, again, fortune favors the bold, but Perales was having none of that. So, again, an absolutely incredible effort for this Alouettes team to hang on for the victory. going 4-1 now, and just still, for the most part, looking like one of the top teams in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, they do have Calgary coming up again next week on the road.
Home and home.
Yeah, home and home. And let's talk about Davis Alexander. Coming into this game, we knew that he had a continuous streak when it comes to most consecutive passes, second most consecutive passes without throwing an interception. He had 30 tonight. He is now over 300 consecutive passes without an interception. But about midway through the fourth quarter, Davis pulls up lame. Happens to be grasping at his left hamstring, which is the exact same one that he pulled last year.
And tore. Let's call it what it was. He definitely tore his hamstring, and that's what affected his 2025 season.
Yeah.
Despite what others may say, it definitely made an impact and was arguably the difference why the Alouettes didn't win the Grey Cup in 2025 was because that hamstring flared up at the worst possible times.
And we don't, obviously, from where we were sitting and where we are now, weren't able to catch hold of what the comments were from the post-game press scrum yet, or press conference. You and I are either thinking a hamstring again, or we're hoping for a cramp, because he was in and out. Because it was when it happened to Davis, it was the end of the drive for the Alouettes. Mm-hmm. Went in immediately, caught by the cameras, everybody else, so everybody knew what was happening.
Yep.
And was back for the next series. But after that, in my opinion, play calling was changed slightly for Davis, and Davis didn't look the same. I think he missed his last, I think it was 6 or 7 passes of the game.
Yeah, I think it was just more of a survival mode, like just try to get through this game, get through it, and hopefully the defense could basically pitch a shutout. And they did give him a lot of credit, even though it was a lot of bend but don't break from the Montreal defense. They got the job done. I mean, to be able to stop Vernon Adams after he scored 58 points against the Toronto Argonauts last week, to basically limit them to 30, I'd say that's a pretty good improvement.
I would think
I'd
so.
say overall a good defensive effort. I mean, still giving up 30 points is not ideal, but at the same time, this offense more than made up for it. And they once again find ways to win. And it doesn't have to be pretty. And as they always say, it's not how you win, it's by how many.
Yeah. Travis Tice got the start tonight because Stevie Scott was placed on the 6th game. We're guessing it still is a hamstring, and it seems to be a broken record over the last 2 seasons when it comes to guys that are going on the 6th because of hammies.
Yep.
But Travis Tice did well as a starter tonight. Just shy of 100 total yards, and he also had one tonight where he just ran off I'll tell you what it is. He ran off a 46-yard run to set the Alouettes up.
Yeah. And show of hands, who had Tyler Snead as throwing the first touchdown pass evening? Or put your hands down, you liars. What an absolutely incredible gadget play to basically get the Alouettes their first touchdown of the evening. Davis to Tyler Snead. We thought, Tyler Snead's going to score. No, he's leaning back. He was an absolute dime.
It was like a basketball shot.
That's where he was
shooting the ball.
Little fadeaway jumper, if you will, to Tyson Philpott.
But that really wasn't it, though. It was the effort that Tyson Philpott made to get that ball.
That's what he does, folks. He just makes the impossible possible. I don't know how he does it, and maybe we don't want to know how he does it, as long as he's doing it, which he has been doing in spades.
That's true. Let's talk about the offense here. As I said, we talk about Davis. Another 300-yard game for Davis, just over 300 yards tonight. Every game this season, he has over 300. Had a touchdown. He was 22 with 30. Again, Tyler Snead, 101, 7 yards, touchdown. Tice had a touchdown. Dustin Crum had a touchdown. Tice had 94 total yards on 13 rushes tonight. And then the receiving. Tyson Philpott, 9 receptions, 10 on 10 targets, 132 yards and a touchdown.
Taking the night off, I guess, He really is something special, ladies and gentlemen. And you knew he was excited to be playing this game because he was going up against his twin brother, Jalen, for the Stampeders, who, again, they tried to get him involved in the offense as much as possible. And I'm actually really surprised that Vernon wasn't trying to find Jalen a little bit more, because those two really do have a really good connection. But for whatever reason, he had a couple of catches this evening, if I recall, but nothing truly outstanding. If anything, I think Vernon had a much better relationship with Dejon Brissett and Clark Barnes. Yeah,
3 receptions for Jalen.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah, for 66 yards, but still, it was 66 yards.
That could be also the Montreal defense knowing how important Jalen Philpott is to the offense for Calgary and keeping him honest as well. And I think this defense, for the most part, did a good job of keeping Vernon, I won't say under control, but at least kept him honest. And Dedrick Mills as well wasn't able to do a whole lot either. I mean, a couple decent runs, but nothing truly outstanding, like especially considering what we saw over the past couple of weeks from Calgary. I feel like Montreal did overall a very good job of keeping these guys under control.
Yep, and then there was Tyler Go Gadget Sneed. He had 6 receptions for 86 yards. Kareem Ferdinand for 34. He got a lot of targets tonight too, and he's adjusted very well to being a part of this wide receiver core.
Yeah, and we talked about the national receiver. Of course, Tyson Philpott is going to be number 1, number 2, and number 3. But Kasim Ferdinand, to see him get some reps out there tonight, get a couple of targets, well, we ain't mad at that. I mean, that national receiver position is so important. You know, Tyson Philpott's living proof of that, but for Kasim to get a couple of looks his direction as well, I ain't mad at that.
No, not at all. And then we don't know the status yet, but Alexander Hollins, one again, sort of like his last game, 1 reception on target, 34 yards and a TD. But he got hammered on the play itself, and I think he left in the next series. We're not sure what was the reason why. Could have been residuals from the hit itself. We don't know, but Hollins, I don't think, did not return for the rest of the game.
I don't recall seeing him very much, if at all. But again, he did what he had to do. So I mean, like that. Once again, this speaks to just how well Davis Alexander is able to spread the ball around to all of his receivers. Not shy to hand off the rock to Travis Tice as well. I mean, it's just a varied offense, very explosive as well, creative as hell too. I mean, we were talking with Anthony Calvillo after, like, the play caller for the Montreal Alouettes, and we were just floored. Like we said to him, like, what you are doing with Davis is nothing short of incredible, and he was glowing. Just you can see the pride, you know, like just beaming from him as far as, you know, what Davis Alexander's been able to do for this offense and getting everybody else involved as a result. It's just a beautiful thing.
Well, it's really one of the reasons why Davis has so many passing yards that he does, and why he is in the conversation this early in the season to be MOP.
100%. And I do believe FanDuel has him as like the odds-on favorite to win MOP. And performances like tonight are one of the many, many reasons why.
Let's go back to defense. By the way, we talked about sacks. Najee Murray had a sack, and Mustafa Johnson had a sack, and Pereles, as you said, had a sack. 2 straight games with 3 sacks for the defense.
Oh man, I tell you what, it's as much as we've been giving them grief over the past couple of weeks for some of their lackadaisical play, tonight I think they really made the effort to, like, you could see that they were trying to get past that. Like, I feel like they know what they're doing or what they haven't been doing.
Yeah.
And tonight felt like a concerted effort to make it a lot better. And that's all you really want. I mean, again, you still allowed 30 points, which is not ideal, but at the same time, the plays that you did make gave Vernon Adams a bit of a long night here in Montreal.
Some of the interesting stats, if anybody happened to be watching them, is that the Alouettes only had their second rush. It was midway through the second quarter, despite how many yards that Travis Tice had at the end of the game. And on top of that, too, because they were averaging at the time like 9.9 yards per play. The Alouettes heading into almost into the end, midway through the second quarter, had only attempted 4 first downs. So looking at the stats tonight, especially for second downs, the stat is kind of a little misleading. The Owls ended up being 6 for 17 for 35%. It's misleading. It really is, considering. I mean, we're talking about 400 total yards of offense, Cliff, with an average gain of 8.4 per play.
That's it. It's, I'll tell you what, this offense is just so exciting to watch, so much fun to watch. And even when you think Davis is in trouble, he just finds a way to escape. And maybe that's what, this is why also too, there's that concern of, you know, pulling up lame. I mean, we really hope it's just a cramp, because again, we saw what happened last year when Davis got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to put Dustin Crum in the same category as McLeod Bethel Thompson when it comes, if God forbid he has to come in relief for him. But Dustin Crum is at least, you know, I think more the same style quarterback than Davis Alexander, of what Davis Alexander is compared to what MBT is. So,
oh yeah, I have no question about that. It just goes to, my thought is this. Well, obviously, again, we don't know what the status is of Davis's injury.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put the question to you, and you don't have to answer. You can leave it for the show coming up this Wednesday or whatever. But if you were the head coach, would you pull Davis? Yes, he's done well. Again, this is being at the worst, being the worst of the worst type of injury. Obviously, I would probably try to get him heal. but we know how much of a gamer he is. But if he does, I mean, if he's re-injured his hamstring again, I relate based on what happened last year. I don't think there's much of a choice.
I think a lot will depend on what the actual issue is. If it's a cramp, then you got nothing to worry about. If it's even just a slight tear or pull of the hamstring, you do have to err on the side of caution. But until we find out for sure what the extent of the injury is, really all we can do is speculate. I mean, in theory, yes, you should have that same confidence in Dustin Crum that if, God forbid, Davis Alexander cannot go, that he should be able to lead this team, lead the offense. Not necessarily the same way that Davis does, but at the same time, be that insurance policy, so to speak. Like, be able to come into a game, play it, and keep the team in it. I mean, everybody else will have to step up as a result if that's the case, but I think our best bet is really, truly just to wait and see what happens on day one for practice this week. Hope for the best and, I guess, prepare for the worst. Now,
we have been talking about, how perfect games, obviously with what's happened the past couple of weeks, Cliff, especially with the third quarter woes, improved tonight, but still the things that really I think that they really need to work on now is that when it comes to special teams.
Yeah, I think Mario Alford, I'm waiting for him to break something open. I'm just waiting for him to really have that explosive, jaw-dropping play like we've known that he can do from back in the day.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting. And I feel like, he's had a couple of okay returns, but nothing really outstanding. And again, maybe it's because of the legend that came before him that we are expecting so much out of him. We know what he's capable of doing. And for whatever reason, he still hasn't really broken one open yet. Like, not even a massive return. Like, I mean, you're looking like 25 yards at the most.
Yeah, no, that's true. Just over 18,000 showed up here tonight. Any concern? Just over 18? Nah. Summer night in Montreal?
Summer night. There's festivals going on.
That's true, too.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
People are probably at the cottage, too.
Yeah. If you happen to miss any part of this broadcast, you can watch the archive over on X, Facebook, or on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, by the way, if you haven't missed it already, make sure you watch this week's episode of our Alouettes 80 series with Mark Tressman. I love it when they turn the lights off on us. With Mark Tressman. I know you may have watched the show this week, Flightdeck, Alouettes Flightdeck, but it is, you got a sneak peek. You only got 24 minutes of it, but if you go watch the entire thing on YouTube, it is a golden 1 hour and 15 minutes worth of just gems across the board.
Yeah, just a masterclass, if you will, from Mark Tressman. But talking about his time in Montreal, and just his approach to coaching, his approach to life, everything, and just what a treat! It was an absolute treat to be able to speak with him.
Yeah, exactly. So again, we do have the show coming up on this Wednesday, and next week's Flight Deck Live will be from our home offices as the Alouettes are playing on the road versus Calgary. So for the last time here at Percival Molson Stadium, where the Alouettes do beat the Calgary Stampeders 37-30. For Cliffy D, I'm Tim Capper. We'll talk to you soon.